I'm Nick.
I'm Nick.
And this is Truff Talk.
It's my favorite truffle.
Smells like savory and good.
Truffle and hot sauce put together.
Woo! There's no one I've given it to that hasn't loved it.
Most things in our business, we always try to challenge what's always been done. And I think for us, we always try to lead with value or reason for them to stop and watch, whether that's like the Truffle Thursdays bit that we used to do back in the day, or creating fun animations, things that people want to send their friends, things that they wouldn't think a hot sauce or condiments brand would be doing. Those are the areas we like to play in. So within each channel of social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, there's going to be a different viewer within each one of those platforms. So we try to create content specific to who it is that's consuming it. And we understand that one thing that works on Instagram may not work on TikTok, vice versa.
Twitter, I think, is fun because it's so playful. Giselle, who runs our Twitter, sent us an update on all the accounts we interacted with last week, and it was a bunch of brands I looked up to since I was like a child. I see it when I'm on Twitter, but I didn't really think anything of it. It's such a cool place to just be casual.
I think, everybody within Truff is, remaining culturally relevant at all times. They're all on social media. They understand the landscape.
We just mentioned Giselle. She had her own very influential foodie account before she ever started working at Truff. And it's like bringing on individuals who are naturally just in that world and, they're up with the times.
Our team is very entrepreneurial in a sense. It's not, 7 layers of corporate approvals. It's ideas that get thrown around often and executed on very quickly.
Like for example, the Drake spat with the hot sauce situation. Within a couple of hours, we had a cool, relevant post up for that day. We're always able to move quickly because everyone who's calling the shots internally on social related things is, we're all in a group text and it's easy to just move and make things happen.
I think we've just built more structure. Before it was kind of fire at the hip. Now things are planned well ahead and we have a look and feel that we like to maintain, that consistency, the content that we put out, the way that we're putting together our captions, the way we speak to our followers and customers.
We've always had the lens and the framework of aligning ourselves with culture and being a part of culture. I think we've had a couple cool pop culture partnerships or collabs, one of them being with Ben Baller, where we did an all gold bottle with an all gold label and a shiny gold cap, kind of consistent with his brand. We did a cool Warren Lotus bottle with our white hotter sauce, which was his iconic skull as the lid. We always look to do things that we feel are at the coolest point in culture and at the epicenter of culture. And some recent food collabs that we felt were the right culture moves. One was Taco Bell, where we did a test last year to make a dish together, and it went so well that we just about a month ago rolled it out nationwide to all 7,000 plus Taco Bells. Hidden Valley Ranch is very culturally relevant in a lot of different ways. Again, they created ranch. Probably everyone in this room and most people watching have Hidden Valley in their fridge. For us, having that opportunity to align with them was, we were very humbled and very happy to do it. And, they felt that Truff brought some coolness to their brand, which is, so relevant. We always look for things that both sides benefit, but it is very intertwined and ingrained in culture. We work from the framework of, is this original? If it's predictable, we don't want to do it. If it's original, we're very interested in doing it. We want to be one of one in pretty much everything we do. If we're talking more industry and you're building a brand in this space, you should be at trade shows. The whole industry is in the same room and you can do things in that room that you'll never have done through email throughout the year. And in terms of culturally relevant things, we always try and do things that are specific to us and someone else couldn't just do it. We're lucky enough to sponsor French Montana's birthday party. It wasn't just you pay X and the brand gets to be in the room. It was actually adding value to the party. They were passing around shots of Truff. Everyone was loving it. They were putting it on their food. At the YBN Corday video set, everyone was eating all the behind the scenes pictures. Everyone's dousing Truff on everything. It's actual value and If you're just paying for something, it's pointless because it's not authentic. MGK was one of the first shout-outs we had also on, remember he pouring on the cookie?
Yeah.
He's like, my buddy Tall just launched this.
He invented this truffle hot
This
sauce.
truffle, and he had it like on a oatmeal raisin cookie or something. And then like the 5 seconds of summer thing. I think in music videos, hip hop has been more resonating, but on social media, I think we've had a lot of rock inclusion.
So we did an out-of-home campaign in Chicago, and we were on the journey to find who made the best pizza. Us being a digitally native brand, we've done a lot of really cool things digital, and this was our first step into kind of the in real life outdoor marketing. We took out a big billboard in the middle of Chicago, and it said, blank makes the best pizza in Chicago. And then we kind of brought our digital world into the real life and brought the two together and had this really cool campaign that highlighted a lot of different local pizzerias. We shot content at a bunch of pizzerias, we highlighted some of the owners, and we brought the community together to vote on who they thought would make the best pizza.
We did one in Philadelphia too, who makes the best cheesesteak in Philly. The campaign is like Truff's best campaign, and it's like activating a whole city. And typically billboard campaigns purchase a bunch of them around the city and get all this, FaceTime. But for us, we just needed a few to talk about the contest, and that was the thing. Yeah, we got the billboard exposure, but behind that is this whole digital contest going on with people posting and tagging and vote for us, and all the news stations picked it up in each city that we were in, and it turned into this like thing. And the winners, we gave them a check for $10,000, and it was a huge help for their business, and it was just like a cool thing and a cool way to activate. I think we're inspired by any brand that's marketing in a different way. I think a very cool recent case study is Liquid Death, the way that they approach marketing campaigns from a very different angle in a very scrappy way. They don't have insane budgets, they just have insane scrappiness with creative minds. We've definitely been inspired by different fashion brands. We've always aspired to associate Truff with an elevated dining experience, amongst other things. And if you look at our category, there really isn't a lot of marketing around hot sauce. And so I think bringing that fresh take to this category has been super helpful for us.
So within streetwear and fashion, you see kind of the art of the drop, where a brand like Supreme will drop a limited quantity of something and it will sell out instantly. And I think for us, we kind of saw that same strategy with our brand, and we were able to kind of apply it to the way we release products. And when we dropped our white truff hot sauce the first time, it was a limited drop in limited quantity. It sold out and it was gone until the next year. And when we release new products, we kind of always have this slow, kind of cryptic tease that leads to a drop of something new.
We recently did a TV commercial that we shot, and it was playing on the emotion of that moment when they're shaving Parmesan or pepper onto your dish at a restaurant, and they tell you when to stop, and it's always awkward. And we just shot a commercial about them, the same concept of truff being poured onto a steak, and she said just say when, and it never ends. We never wanted to stop. And for us, it was just like a cool moment to have fun with a different type of campaign and do something that, again, no one really in our category is doing.
So when we look to collaborate with different brands, first we want to make sure it kind of benefits both sides, and it's a collaboration that feels true and authentic. So you've seen some of like the streetwear drops that we've done, but some of the most recent stuff is kind of more in a lane of nostalgia and the roots of Nick and I's childhood growing up, going to Taco Bell, using Hidden Valley Ranch, and kind of bringing this new world of challenger, disruptive brands with some of these legacy, household, childhood staples, and creating a moment that, we could relive. It might sound crazy to think you as a young brand could collaborate with some of the OGs like, Taco Bell or Hidden Valley. But behind the scenes, it's just scrappy communication, figuring out who runs a certain team, sliding into the DMs, and just having an authentic conversation. And if it's a good fit, then one thing will lead to another, and amazing things could happen.
When we think about structuring these campaigns or creating the premise, we always want to be relatable, and we look for things that we know people will resonate with. It kind of plays into Taco Bell as well. Like, Taco Bell is so relatable to our demographic, to our age group. It's where we all grew up going. We all still stop in there from time to time. When we think about things like this, we always want to make sure it's an extremely relatable moment, and it's something that a lot of people will like. They'll be scrolling, they'll see it, and they say, oh, that's relevant to me. The goal is not to do a lot, it's to do the right ones. And so we're willing to go years without a partnership if we don't feel the right one comes up. Something that's very important is to be selective and think about what the goal is. Like, what is the objective of both sides? Like, what does this side get and what does that side get out of it? And where does it move the needle? For us, with the recent Taco Bell collab, we got millions of people to try Truff that might not have already. And we got to do it in a way that was nostalgic, that was amazing, the food was so good, and in a way that was cool. With our Hidden Valley partnership, we got to align with, largely one of the GOATs in condiments, one of the coolest and most notable brands to ever do it. Just to be able to be in the same conversation with, a brand that prestigious and influential was a huge alignment for us. For them, they definitely got to talk to kind of the younger audience in a way. They got to be a little bit more elevated. We obviously have different price points, and it was a good moment for them to kind of integrate their way back into the current popular culture. The future of Truff is very bright, we like to think. We're continuing to build out our retail presence. For us, this past couple of years was our first entrance onto a lot of shelves, and those things take time. There's resets. Each retailer resets that category at a certain time, so we might not have gotten on the shelf this year until August or September. Now that we have all this distribution and really good movement, now we get to have some fun with doing cool things with a lot of these stores, doing some higher level marketing things, broader sampling. Millions and millions of people have had Truff and millions haven't yet. And so over the next few years, we're going to be doing a lot of work to really familiarize a lot of different people with Truff and a lot of different audiences, and as well as build out some of the newer categories that we've introduced over the last couple of years. And we're very excited to continue this push and make sure Truff ends up in every fridge in America. One of our goals is for our grandchildren to be eating Truff and not even know we made it. Our goal, and the reason we built this business so slowly and thoughtfully, is that we want Truff to be here for generations. We want it to be one of those brands that never goes anywhere. And we would love to have our grandkids and maybe their grandkids eating Truff as a staple.